Dear monastic sanghas and all the practitioners. So in our practice, in the Buddha Dharma, we have to practice this letting go of the self-attachment. Otherwise, it's gonna fall into the path of other language. And when we in this practice, if nobody try to help us to point out the our mistake, then it's gonna be hard for us to prolong our practice or the doubt. And otherwise, we're gonna get a lot of afflictions arise in the practice. So this is just like this is an analogy about raising a child. And when you really focus on taking care this child, we need to have this belief in ourselves. And so, and something in this practice, we have to really truly believe in ourselves and asking the question. So the sixth patriarch states that when you practice this path, we have to let go of the fall, the wrong view of the attachment. So the patriarchs and the Zen teachers, they usually repeat a lot to remind us the practice. So the lectures, the speech, basically are the skillful teaching. So we should have to understand the approach in teaching, in helping us to find our awakening. So when we're talking about self-attachment, it's easy to understand theoretically, but in reality, it's not that easy. And if we don't know how to practice correctly, then we accept every thought, every understanding are ours. So there's no difference, we accept them as our enemies. And when we say that we understand this and we don't understand that, that basically, we fall on the duality. So right now, if we don't truly practice, we're not able to truly understand the path. So on this path, we have our friends, our teachers, to remind it, so that we not gonna fall into the wrong path. But when you say you don't attach to my ego or myself, when you say you don't, which means you already attached to the self. And that practitioners fall into the duality all the time and not able to get out of the duality. So all the Zen sickness need the Buddha teaching to understand, to cure their sickness. So if one able to raise the thought of solving the birth and death, and have no time, to understand this and that, in the world life, that is, already raise the thought of birth and death. And when practitioners able to raise that doubt, reach to the height or the depth of the great doubt, then it's gonna destroy all the attachment, destroy all the dualities and ignorance. So right now, it doesn't matter if you understand or not. That doesn't matter. But as long as you're able to focus, concentrate your energy in the practice, ask the question clearly, wholeheartedly, and you don't ask the question just for the sake of your asking, but you have to ask this question to solve your birth and death, to see your own Buddha nature. So we have to really dedicate our practice diligently and carefully. So at this time, if you have any question, you can raise your hand. So, sư cô Pháp Tuệ. Namo Sakyamuni Buddha. Dear monks and nuns and all the Zen practitioners. And yesterday you did mention about the 3 way of practice for practitioners. If we don't apply this in our practice, and if we don't apply the 3 guidelines in our practice, then the worldly desires, they start to come into my mind, and then I will fall into the path of the worldly life. So can you make clarifications in this teaching? So in this question, regarding this question, Sister Yi Yun asked you this, why we get distracted a lot because of these worldly desires. So can you clarify for us? So the practice of the different skillful practice. So you thought, if you think you have this certain path already, then so but the three skillful teachings that we sometimes need them. And if you attach to that, to those skillful teachings, these are the practice to destroy the practice of the sound, the hearing, the forms, the seeing, and the forms and the hearing. So basically, if we don't apply the practice correctly, then it's gonna fall into the different path. So this is another analogy. Like drinking the water. If you're able to see the water is clear, then you're able to drink it. So in the practice, if we able to see our mind is in the full mode of wholeheartedly, or full of intention for the practice. So when you ask the question, the heart question, you ask the question but not recite the question. So even someone like the practitioners have this true heart for the practice, but not able to practice in a long period. But eventually, this practitioner able to achieve the goal. So as long as you have the true heart, it's gonna take you there. So if one has the strong habitual energy, then it's going to be really hard for that practitioner. So the skillful practice tries to help us, to prevent us from falling into the wrong practice, and it support us. So the first one is the support from our practitioners. So the 5 desires, they are the obstacles for the practice. So it's not just about the onions flavors create the obstacle. They are just secondary, but the primary is the mind is try to take over the practice. So when people they say that they're not attached to the worldly desires because they deeply in the practice. So sometimes practitioners they also not true to themselves. They say that, but they don't really truly practice that. So there are many desires that we have attached in our life, and people they maybe say, I don't have any other desires besides watching soccer or football. So this is about the practice at or in the family life. This is the most difficult. So with this practice, with the heart of practice, so it doesn't matter you practice at home or in a temple, as long as you able to maintain asking a question. You ask the question while you're doing other things, so it's not going to interfere with your practice and your daily life. So if you say it's difficult, and if you say it's easy, it's easy. So once you have this thought of strong thought about solving the birth and death, you're able to overcome all the obstacles in your practice. So even if you still in the or at home in a worldly life, doesn't matter what the situation is, you able to maintain your practice in any situation. And this is how you're able to let go of the self-attachment as well. So if people they have the karma of afraid of mouse, mice, or insects, or even someone fear of the blood, they need to overcome that karma as well. What can they do with that? Nothing extraordinary, but only focused on the practice, and all this fearness eventually they're gonna disappear. So if someone who want to become a doctor, but if he afraid of the blood, how can he become a doctor? So if we don't define our own self with the karma that we have, then we're not able to overcome any fear. So this is one of the elements that we have attached or created in many lives. So right now we need to understand this so we can make a turning point. So if you have this strong determination for solving birth and death, this is gonna help you to correct that or fix the loophole in your practice. And sincere heart in the practice, you're gonna continue to move toward the light, but not go back to the dark. So it's just this analogy that, you know, when a good horse, when you just raise the stick, right, the whip, the horse is already start to go, right, to move. You know, it doesn't wait until you hit to whip it, right? So the next one is we need to exhaust our desire. So this desire is essentially, so this story in the Zen tradition, this child or toddler have been taken to the mountain and live with the Zen master. And they didn't leave the mountain until he was in the teenager. So when they went to the market, and if you see any beautiful girls, they are the very bad tiger. They are the worst tiger compared to the mountain lions. So these teenagers, you know, he took that understanding and he go to the market by himself. He said that he didn't like everything in the market except, you know, the tiger in the market. So the master, you know, he got surprised by his answer. So this is come from, you know, the instinctual desire. Nobody taught him about, you know, the desire of woman and man and so on. So this is a desire that lead us to birth and death, the cycle of birth and death. So we need to exhaust our the desire, and this is the origin source of birth and death. So how we do this? We just need to return and ask the question, ask the heart question. So this is how you're gonna correct yourself or correct your practice. So we cannot, you know, fix this by get addicted, you know, with the drugs, right? So even when people that try to escape, you know, the worldly life where there's no opposite sex or genders to bother them, that creates another big obstacle in their practice. So the practice is basically gonna help us directly lead us to the original self. So that's how we're gonna have a stable mind. Thank you for your explanation.
Kính tri ân những lời sách tấn rất là rõ ràng của thầy. Dạ, Nam mô Bổn Sư. Tam ni Phật.
Ms. Kim Ying, please go ahead. Namo Sakya, Muni Buddha, dear monks and nuns, and all Zen practitioners. You just explained our practice. In our practice, we need to practice and let go of our self-attachment. So this is how we gonna let go of the self-attachment by nothing to gain, nothing to seek, nothing to fear. So in order for us to get rid of the self-attachment, we have to face the issues. So can you say more about this? So this is how we're gonna help us to practice correctly. Thank you. So the support this system, the supportive system is also help us to let go of the self-attachment. So when you say let go of the self-attachment, this is about believe in yourself. So if you don't believe in yourself, then it's going to be really hard to let go of the self-attachment. So in this practice, we don't wish that we can gain more. So this is going to fall into the something to gain, something to seek, something to fear. So when you're able to let go of the self-seeking, then it's always fall into duality, 1 and 2. So the main guideline is let go of the self-attachment. So this is, in theory, it's easy to understand, but in the practice, it's going to take forever, very, very long time in order to accomplish this. So when we say no, actually it's only in theoretically, we only understand the material, but we don't practice yet. So in any way that we practice, we need to you have to practice diligently in order to see the points of the patriarchs and the Buddhas, always try to teach us. So in our worldly life, when you try to raise a child, you have to use the right method to raise a child. Otherwise, it's gonna be the side effect would, and make a child, become a bad person. So when we talking about raising a Buddha raising a baby Buddha in us is even 1,000 times harder than that. So when the Buddha say that we should rely on the Dharma, but not on the person who present the Dharma. So when we take the refuge, we rely on the Buddha Dharma. So because we rely on this worldly super term, then we're able to continue to go back to our three refuges in ourselves. So when we take in the materials or listen to the Buddha Dharma and we don't do anything with it, we collect them and they not gonna help us, but they actually create an obstacle in our practice. So when we practice this in this path, we have to apply the theories and the practicum together. So you learn the materials, the theories, and then you take it into the practicum. And then from there, you're able to see how deep is your self-attachment. So if one's already attached to one view, then he is gonna ignore or deny all the views. So this is gonna create another obstacle. So this is the saying in the Buddha Dharma realm. If we leave the teaching or leave the words of the Buddha and we try to use our own, that is fall into the wrong path. And if we attach to the words of the Buddhas or the Buddha Dharma and without practice, then we also find ourselves in a big obstacle and wrong path. So we cannot do, in this practice without with mindlessness. It's going to destroy ourselves in the path. So sorry, we are running out of time today. And thank you.